Okay, I know it's been a while, but back on this again. Gotta get her done. I've been running around chasing parts. I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. Sold my daily, bought a van. Some of the coins gone in the racing budget to decided I wasn't gonna go the slow road. Plus a van's better for a track. Just works out. I've used a van in the past for racing, to tow to the track, whether it's bikes or cars. But anyway, I want to get this thing buttoned up. I'll check my deck height. Hello, we're back at it. Back at this motor. I didn't film. I thought I was, but I just finished checking how far up in the holes these are coming, and they're just that tiny hair down in the holes, not much at all, like not even 1/100 of an inch. So they're basically at zero deck height, which is what I want with the turbo. Don't want to use a lot of boost. I just want it to move a lot of air. That's kind of the way I like to do it. But now it's time. I want to get this thing buttoned up. So now it's time to put these head studs in, and I'll film that. I might just super speed through it, but let's open the box here. They're ARPs. They are not cheap, but they're not horrendous either. Take the cost of head bolts and then double it basically, but I believe it's worth the extra insurance to use studs. If you're going to turbo or spray it, say head studs at the minimum are necessary. You may as well, because guess what? If you pop a head gasket and don't do any damage, like if you're using aluminum heads, pop a head gasket, you could torch a head. That's basically burn a trench in the path where the gasket failed. And you do not want that. So these here, screw studs in block hand tight. Now I went through previously, and I chased all the threads in the block where all the head studs / bolts go. Something I do right away. So we're just hand tightening. It says you can use Loctite, but if you're going to use Loctite, I never have with studs. I've only done studs a few times. Now, if you Loctite it, you have to torque the stuff down before the Loctite dries. So that means you have to throw them in, throw the head on, head gasket. So you better have everything prepped and lined up, ready to go. Because I'm using steel shim gaskets, I'd have to have them sprayed in the copper coat and ready to rock and roll. And I do that because I'm going to be using aluminum heads. So, no, the important thing is, all these head studs, head bolts, go through water jackets. So we have to put some thread sealant. Of course, here they tell you use the ARP thread sealant, but parts store, that's what they had. It's the same thing. So unlike other ARP hardware where you're going to use the lube, on the portion that goes in the block, we're going to use the thread sealant. That's here. So I'm going to put you on the camera mount, and then we'll carry on. Oh, well, let's look at what we got in here. There's the instruction sheet. There's this. It says inspect it for shipping damage. I don't know, they pack their stuff in pretty good. See, there's the fastener loop. Use that on the top end. We'll make sure to throw that back in the box. Comes with all our washers. They're all lubed up. And then the nuts. The reason you gotta lube it, because between the flat of the nut and the washer, that binds, if it grabs a hold, you'll get incorrect torque readings. So they want you to lube. That's what they want you to lube. So you get correct torque readings. So it turns freely. There's no binding against the washer. Oh yeah, okay. We have short and we have long. They go in different spots. And I'll show you that when I start putting them in. And we'll see you shortly. I say to look at them all, but they're all spotless. I'm going to say they're all good. I've never had an issue. I've only had an issue with having the long or the wrong length rocker studs, but that was not their fault. That was my fault. Because for a small block Chevy, there's a couple different length rocker studs you can get. My aftermarket heads came with supplied studs. I selected to use ARP studs. See how it has coarse thread here? That goes into the block, and then the ARP bolts or these studs. The nuts that go on these are fine thread. There we go. See? Going into the block is coarse thread. Put a bit of sealant on there, put it in. Then when you're tightening, you can use an Allen key to tighten these down once you get the heads on. It says hand tight. So just go easy. Gentle. It will tighten when torqued. That's the point. These don't have to be that tight because the clamping is provided by the stud, not the threads in the block. That makes any sense. Okay, I'm gonna finish going through these and put you on the stand. So for stud length, you have 3 different lengths of stud. There's a short, the medium, and the long. So what we have is shorts will go across these holes in the bottom towards the outside of the block. Medium one in this end, a medium one in this end, and then the rest are long. So there's patterns you can look up, but it's long, and then the ones on the outside are short. And these two ends here are your medium length ones. So I'll put you up on the camera mount. There we go. Open my thread sealer. Open. Shorts. Remember, it's the coarse goes into the block. A little cool in here. Need it, warm it up a bit. Oh, baby. Oh. Open the lid first. There we go. Don't need 100 gallons of it. Maybe a little much. Like I said, I previously chased all these threads out. The tap, the thread chasing tap, actually. Got it. towel because I don't want any extra interfering with the head gasket in any way. In the past, had issues with head gaskets, and they're just no fun. There. Next. Get that handy. Yeah, a little bit. A little too much. That last one. I just spin them in easy. If they don't spin in easy by hand like this with your bare hands, you gotta chase them. If there's goop in the threads or a damaged thread or something. So. Put the box here. It doesn't come with any extras. So if you have extras, you've missed a couple holes. Not like IKEA furniture. No extras provided. Where? Straight in, nice and easy. Another white again. I'll hit the deck with brake clean, wipe it off before I throw the heads on. Well, actually, what I am going to do is I'm going to put the heads on without the gasket. I'm going to check all my clearances and everything. I know that might be a little boring. I won't be doing that today. I just want to get these in. I can't wait to get the heads on. But actually, before I put the heads on even, there's another step. When I get excited, you're like, oh, head studs, woo! Alright? No. I'm just doing this because it's a step I can do. I want to get it done, but what I'd actually need to do is degree in the cam. That means getting that in, getting the balancer and everything on, because my balancer's marked all the way around. I can set everything up the way I want it. However, what I found is I should have just bought a new one. I don't know why I thought I would just reuse the old one, but the balancer bolt, different thread from this scat crank. I'm gonna have it slightly bigger. I don't know if this engine had it's one of these metric crossover abominations or something, but it's not a one-piece rear main seal. It's two-piece, but I don't know, man. It's weird. That it would do that. There we go, that's better. No extras to wipe off. I'm gonna repeat that again. It's not enough squish a little. Liberally coat threads. There we go. It's all tedious assembling this. To check. I mean, it doesn't matter if you got 500 bucks into it, or 5,000, or 15,000. Check. It's all your hard-earned money. I mean, if you're just gonna throw 200 horse spray at a junkyard LS block, probably check it anyway. Why? I don't know. Oh, see? That one. Chase them all. Have to get Alky with that. I'll leave that one out. So that's the shorts. We go medium. Do the mediums, it only supplies 4. But yeah, I don't know. You still pay money for it. Still want to check things. I mean, if you're not going to take it apart, you're just going to throw an intake on it and chuck spray at it, I guess, whatever. But, yeah, it's medium. But if you're going to start putting money into it, like a camshaft, cams are not cheap. You're, a few $100 into a cam and lifters. You're just going to scatter that on the first pass. I don't know too many people, no matter how much money they have, are just going to take $300 and throw it in the wood stove. The same thing. You just want to check things. Make sure they'll stay together. And spray the hell out of it. And then if you blow it up, well, you just know you overdid it. Yeah, but the only things I'm reusing from this block is the timing cover. That's it. Everything else came out. You're gonna reuse hardware and stuff, and then I'm just like, it's just not worth it. We're on the long ones. There's 3 rows. The bottom row, this middle row, and the ends of the middle row get the short, or the medium length studs. And then your top row is all long. The long one, I check for nicks or anything. Easy. So here we go, a bit of extra douche. Especially between cylinders, I don't want anything to be a potential problem as far as head gasket goes. We're going to be putting boost on this sucker, and it's going to be have a decent amount of compression, so I think it's an 8.5 to 1. That's going to be probably closer to 10.5 with some boost. That's why I'm not going to run like 20 pounds of boost either. This will be like a 10 pounds boost. Do that, or Sure adds up quick. It's all the peripherals. So you get turbo. Turbo's cheap. You know, depending how fancy of a turbo you want to go. I didn't go anything too stupid. I bought a decent one, but it's still an import one. Imported. And should spool fairly quick. It's a T4. If you've seen my previous videos, I intend on remote mounting it. Single turbo. On blow through carb. That is brand new. I just simply do not have the time to find a used carb, to go through it, modify it. One, I've never done it before. Sure, I could, and then I have to fight the problems on a fresh motor. I don't want to fight problems on this. I want to be able to start this sucker up. Just NA, run it, break it in, and then hook the boost up. Then throw some boost at it. I do not want to mess around and worry about stuff that I may have screwed up. This carb I ordered, it's a quick fuel blow through 750. Should work out of the box. Probably be a little fat because it's a small motor. That's okay. It's a little fat. Fat is happy. Lean is mean, fat is happy. But for break-in, we can break it in fat. That's fine. I like to run them lean, but I bought stuff so I can. There's going to be tuning challenges. One, because it's blow through carb. So bought an AFR, like a wide band. Oh, those aren't cheap. Holy cow. Bought a bunch of other stuff. Bought a Royal scavenge pump. I've ordered a fuel pump. It just adds up. I have a digital 7 box for sale because I decided not to go that route because I intend on street driving this, and what I've read is they just can't stand the abuse of street driving. That's one thing people have I don't know, an incorrect impression, I guess you could say. They think if it's a race part, it's super durable. Quite often if it's a race part, it's designed to do the job that race part requires. So if it's a drag race ignition box, it's good to run for a couple minutes for a blast down the strip and to do what it has to do effectively and be as light as possible. They don't want to put up with the heat that in electronics changes. Your changes in your current and voltage changes cause havoc in electronics. If you have steady state, then it just sits there and runs like your TV. But if you have changes, things are sweeping up and down, and lots of demand on certain circuits and demand up and down. Create heat. Heat is the enemy, like anything. So a box like that will tend to heat up on a street drive, stop and go traffic, up and down RPM, not just full throttle and give me all the spark I can handle. So there, that's the little bit. I'm gonna try this straight again with no goop on it. Just throw a bit of oil on it. Weird. that? Did I miss a hole? Probably oily fingers. It's alright now. Bit of goo on it. Just grab an Allen key. Oh, great. Butterfingers. Clean that off. Go open the threads, clean that out, because that'll this. The lube on the top. I must have missed one. I didn't go down far enough. It's just a couple threads. It's tight. I don't like that. And there we go. Dirt, who knows, when I'm cleaning other stuff like the back when I was cleaning that, knocked some dirt in there. In. There, all the way down. Went easy, so probably just a bit of gunk stuck in there. Definitely some crap on there. Good, good. Spin that in with no sealant. That's better. There we go. Possibly too much sealant. Oh. Absolutely too much. It's okay. I also don't like to, if I can, I like to leave these in here exposed to the air. I mean, the thread sealant doesn't set up, but it'll harden up a tiny bit. It'll goop up. Yeah. The heck happened here? Well, that's weird. Okay, phone did the funky chicken. Studs are in. If you missed that, I had to chase out one set of threads. Anyway, so that's that. It'll be the same thing on the other side. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later with more updates. And also the van. I don't know how many people want to see what I'm doing to the van. Basic camper conversion in the back, but quick and cheap. All right. See you later. Please subscribe. Thank you.